What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Chat Room, a podcast dedicated with having interviews with upcoming stars and influencers of our generation. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at thechatroom.tcr and on Twitter at thechatroom_TCR. Also, don't forget to become one of our valued Patreon members, which allows you to unlock exclusive content while also supporting this podcast. Enjoy the episode. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to yet another episode of the Chat Room. My name is Kudzai and I'm so glad to have you guys here with me. Today I'm just going to go through a recap of 2020, some of the most exciting moments of 2020, shall I say. And straight after that, at the end of this episode, I've got some very exciting news for you guys. So please do stick around for that.
I don't agree with the second part of what you said at all. I don't think anyone is born with hate in their heart at all.
For those of you that remember quite well, my first guest was Tafadzi Swabunu, and we got into the discussion of the BLM movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, which happened quite a few months ago in the United States. Tafadzi Swabunu at the moment is living in the United States, and as a Black African student, I just wanted to hear what he had to say with regards to the BLM movement. Such a enlightening chat, and not only that, it was the very first episode of the Chat Room. I was so excited to have him. I'm still quite happy that I had him come on, and yeah, we just got straight into it. It was really eye-opening. We really got some stories that were hectic, very hectic, but nonetheless, it was the beginning of an era, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it was the beginning of the Chat Room. And at that time, I was just so overwhelmed by the support from my homies. You know, people were streaming on YouTube and people were posting, and yeah, I was just so glad and happy that people were engaged. And yes, let's just get into some of the things that happened in that episode. I'm gonna play a little bit of it, and yeah, after that, we're gonna get into what happened next.
Yeah, man, and it is a cycle that needs to be broken. So what do you think? The protests that are going around the world right now, I think they're now in England, they're now in New Zealand as well, and these protests where, people are now burning down statues, people are now burning down shops. I mean, it's crazy, dog. And do you think that's the way forward? Or do you think, just really it's time to listen to each other? Do you get what I mean? So it's not just about pointing out the issues, but it's about finding a way forward. So do you think we can burn our way to equality, or, just trying to talk about it is the right way to go?
Do I think violence is the answer? No, I don't think violence is the answer. Does violence work sometimes? Yes, there's been evidence of violence working. You did history. You all know if Hitler wasn't disciplined, he wasn't going to carry on. That was violence. Violence works. And I'm not agreeing with it in this particular case, because it's just proving these white supremacists right to say, people, they're violent, they're rowdy, and whatnot. But at the same time, I can't also blame the people for doing it. I mean, I've only been here, I've only been here for a little over a year.
Wow, I remember at the time we spoke about this just after the George Floyd murder, and yeah, it was very emotional. And yeah, shout out for Tafadzi Swabunu for coming on and just speaking from his heart. And the second episode was a little bit sensitive in a way. I think Tseko Mochwadi, our guest that came on, really handled it quite well, actually. We were speaking about religion, Christianity in the 21st century, and wow. I think the episode was about 30 minutes, but it felt like it was 2 minutes because Mochwadi he just went into it, and we discussed quite a bit from the questions that I had, and he answered them well. So we're just gonna get into some of his answers and check them out.
it's just a lot of the times when we decide to just add our own things on top of the word of God, that's when it becomes really problematic. You know what I mean? And because of that, remember, when you form a cult, right? The whole thing of a cult is you need an individual or a group that is deemed as not even the model, but like, just deemed godlike. Basically, that's what you need, like demigod kind of things, where this particular individual is like the be all and end all, and this is what it means to, where this individual isn't necessarily pointing people to Jesus. You know what I mean? And I think it's not even a church thing, because we can be like that, bro. Like obviously you and I, we're in the trenches with people. You know what I mean? We're actively ministering and preaching the gospel and all of that stuff. And even so, because of that, right? Not even people put you on a pedestal, but because of that, people are already looking at you, like they're looking at your life. And that can, I wouldn't say get to your head, but hey, it's like no cap, and just naturally, like, hey Joe, it's nice to be looked at. When you go, people are like, wow, it's you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, many people want to be famous. Like, if you ask someone who'd rather be in like rich or famous, many people choose famous, because it's just like, I want people to know me. So I don't think like it's a church thing. I think it's just, as people administering the gospel, like, we must continue to look at ourselves and check our hearts and be like, hey, like, am I like, because a cult doesn't have to be 2 million followers.
Oh my word, Teko. Yeah, he's so enthusiastic, so passionate, and I think that was one of my favorite episodes actually. I still listen to it from time to time, because what I learned from that episode is just, it's priceless. It's things that I didn't know, and I'm just glad to have had that interesting conversation with him. Christianity is a deep topic. Not even Christianity, but religion alone is a very deep discussion. So thank you for coming on and being passionate about that. Yes, and I think those that like things, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The third episode was about whores. Should the name whore, should it be used? I think it was something about that. And yeah, I had Nyasha and Macmillan come on, and I think in between the episode there was actually an argument between the two, and wow, I truly enjoyed that episode, and we just wanted to lighten the mood after, the Black Lives Matter and Christianity in the 21st century. We wanted to do something that was light and enjoyable, and Macmillan and Nyasha came on with the heat. Let's just hear a small clip from that episode where, Nyasha was she came hard onto Macmillan, but yeah, let's listen to what happened there.
For, let's say, if a female has multiple guys that she's having entanglements with.
Wait, sorry, but why do you have to specify female? What about guys also? Because guys have multiple entanglements.
No, I don't think so.
Wait, are you saying you don't think guys have multiple entanglements, or you don't think what?
I don't believe that guys have the amount of. Okay, so I think, look at it this way, right? Let's take. We say that, okay, this female is not in a relationship. They're not in a relationship, and then they're just having a relationship with this guy, and then they bounce to this guy, and then they bounce to another guy, but they're not in a relationship. They're just bouncing from guy to guy. You know what I mean? But then they say that now they don't want to be attached to them, but they're just bouncing. But guys, you find most guys, they actually get into a relationship. But
wait, sorry. Actually, can I interrupt
but
you?
Just there.
You're being biased because you're a guy. Because for me personally, I have met a lot of guys who clearly say from the get-go that I don't want a relationship, I'm not looking for a relationship, and they're just changing girls the same way that you're explaining that this girl is changing guys. I've seen it happen in guys as well. Actually, I've seen it happen more times with my guy friends.
Oh my. Macmillan really said that guys don't have entanglements. Oh wow. That was actually funny. I couldn't support the boy there because I didn't agree with him, but it is what it is. You know what? I think that should actually be a question. Who has more entanglements, guys or girls? Because it was getting heated in that debate. And if you really want to hear what happened next, please go to my YouTube channel and check it out. But moving on, the next few episodes were the interview series, and that's basically what prompted this new layout of things. This new direction was what happened next, the interview series. And initially, like I said in the Welcome to 2021 episode, it was basically just a chat room where we discuss just deep topics only. But after the interview series, I was able to take a step back and just think about the direction that I want this podcast to go in. And from that, I was able to, come up with this podcast, move on. So basically, what we're going to do next is listen to the interview series. We started off with Natasha. She is a fine art student at the University of Pretoria, and she has her own business with regards to art. You can order in from her Instagram page, and you can order a painting that you want. So she was first, and let's just hear some of the knowledge that she had in store for us. Here you go.
Yes, I was actually having a conversation with my mom earlier, and it's definitely sad that people don't give art in Zim as much recognition as it deserves, because people only really notice artists when they get exposure overseas and outside of Africa. And I think it's important to learn ways to grow in your own environment and be successful where you are. And by that, it's also important to grow and connect with people, because collaboration, if you have an idea, it's one thing to have a good idea, but it's also about how you deliver your idea and how you brand yourself. So that's what I would say to the aspiring artists out there, and just to keep motivated and believe in yourself and surround yourself with supportive people as well.
Yo, that's deep. It's one thing to have an idea, a good idea, but it's another to deliver. Wow, powerful words there from Natasha. And up next was Duma Paya.
I mean, one thing I would give to anyone who's doing whatever they're doing, academics, sports, whatever you love doing, you should never give up on what you truly love. If you truly love that thing, always be determined to do what you have to do. And I would say, honestly, just never give up. No matter how many hours you take, you should never give up. Failure is always a stepping stone to greatness. That's how I view things. Yeah. So you just have to always be positive in everything you're doing. Be optimistic, be positive every single time, and everything, take care of yourself.
So I just realized that I was just like, up next is Duma Paya, but I didn't tell you what he does. Duma Paya is an athlete, and yes, he yo guys, that guy is amazing in what he does. So shout out for him for coming on and just shedding some light on some of the major events he's been to. And up next was Painter Fresco. Painter Fresco is an artist. Brush Strokes just came out on the 19th of December. If you haven't heard that EP, please go ahead and listen to it. It is a banger. And yes, I'm just gonna play also Fungai's audio and advice straight after Painter Fresco's. And yeah, after that we're just gonna end this episode. But the last two episodes were major key. Painter Fresco and Fungai. Fungai is a fashion designer, and she is part of the brand Fungai X Rufaro. And I was also happy and excited to have her on. And let's just get to listen to some of the advice these two gave us.
Be genuine. It's the best thing I can tell you. Be genuine. Don't fake your stories. Don't fake your persona. Be who you are, because someone can relate to the person you are and the story you will tell. Someone will relate to it. And if one person can relate to it, many people will be able to. So just be genuine. It's the best advice.
Yeah, well, I'd say, especially to like people that are young, don't let anyone tell you that you're young. You're never too, like, it's never too early and it's never too late to start achieving your goals and just following your dreams, as cheesy as it sounds. Like, yeah, I feel like Zimbabwe as well can really make you feel like you're not doing the right thing by, you know, wanting to be in the creative sector, but just keep at it. Like, if you have the vision and you actually know what you want to do, just keep following it, because it will pay off at some point.
Wow, some very sound advice from both Painter Fresco and Fungai. They ended the interview series and I was humbled at the time, you know. People were really excited about these upcoming talented guys, and yes, I know for a fact that they are shining, you know, brighter than they were shining at the time. Painter Fresco actually has an EP, as I mentioned before, Brushstrokes. Please do check it out. It's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify. You know, I think it's on every platform, all of YouTube as well. Please do check it out. It's a banger. And at the beginning of the episode, I promised you guys that I have some exciting news. So as you have noticed, the chat room is getting bigger and bigger and attracting more listeners, and the social media community is also increasing. So as of 2021, I am no longer alone. I have partnered with some of the greatest minds, you know, to increase the quality of the content and the quality of the brand. And I just thought that I should announce it with you, the listeners. There is Caesar Kele Moyedzwa, there is Martina Guafa, and there is Sheonesu Toro. And I am just so excited that they're joining me in this venture and this, you know, adventure rather. And yes, I know with them, this podcast is going to grow and it's going to grow. I am 100% sure that you are going to meet some of them. And if you don't, just know that they're working hard behind the scenes to make things happen. But yes, other than that, that is the exciting news that I had. Please do follow our socials. Please do spread this podcast link to every single person you know. You know, we are trying to take Southern Africa to the world, and I believe that is possible. So until next time, peace.